Today we are going to talk about the quadrants from the sun. Okay. So wherever the sun is in your charts, okay, from there, the quadrants from the sun are very important. Yes, wherever your sun could be, your quadrants from the sun are very important. What you will see is the fourth from the sun, wherever the sun is in your chart, okay, whichever date you are born, if you count 4 houses from the sun, you will see that during that particular day of the birth or that particular day of your birth, okay, 4 houses from where your sun is located is the mid-noon, or the ascendant rising at the time of mid-noon was exactly 4 houses from the sun. Okay, so you take any particular day and you see that, just putting this into the North Indian style as well. Just see this. It's the noon time, 12:30. You take any day, the noon time, 12:30, the sun would be in the 10th house, or 4 houses from the sun, it will be noon. So during the noon time, you will receive maximum sunlight onto the earth. Right? Everybody agrees this. During noon time, during the mid-afternoon, you will see that a lot of light comes onto the earth. More of summer when you will see during the midday. That is why in the Middle Eastern countries, in the midday, people are given rest. Okay, especially during the summers, because the sun is very, the temperatures go up very highly. So what we can infer from this is the 4th house from the sun receives the highest light. Okay. Now, whenever you are born, irrespective of what time you are born, your 4th house from the sun will receive the highest amount of light. Okay. It takes a few minutes for these concepts to sink in. Always please go back and forth. I'll provide the recording of this. Please listen to it back and forth if you are new to astrology, especially. Okay. Then is 10th house from the sun himself. Okay. That is where the midnight is. I'll show you how it is. Okay. Now I'm putting 0030. You see midnight. This can be on any date, approximately around 12 o'clock. I'm trying to show that the midnight is. If you see the midnight, okay, count 10 houses from the sun, okay, you will see that the, now it is the Lagna, okay, 10 houses from the sun is where the maximum darkness is. Now I have put in 0030, so the Lagna has become the maximum dark house. So irrespective of where your Lagna is, count 4 houses forward, you have the midday. Count 4 houses backward, you have the midnight. Okay. Always go back in the video. It is a little difficult concept to remember. So if you're new to it, please go back and forth in the video. Okay. So what we have understood, 4 houses ahead from the sun, we have the maximum light. 4 houses behind the sun, we have the midnight. Okay. First from the sun is where the Udaya Lagna is. Okay. Let us suppose you put this as 6:30 in the morning. Okay. You will see that the sun will be in the Lagna. It means the Udaya Lagna is Dhanas, because right now sun is in the Dhanas. So at the morning time, you will see that the sun is rising, and that's why there is the ascendant. Or in other words, wherever sun is there, that is where the rising sun is. Okay. In that particular house or in that particular Rashi, the sun is rising. Okay. 7th from the sun is where the sun sets. Now I'll put here 1830 sunset time. You will see that 7 houses from the sun. You will see the Lagna now because that is when the sun is setting. Okay. So 4 houses ahead of sun is where you have the maximum sunlight. 4 houses behind the sun, you have the midnight. At the place of sun, you have the rising sun. Exactly opposite to the sun, you have the setting sun. These are the 4 things that you have to understand, especially for sun. Okay. Where you have the maximum sunlight, just pick that house now. Just pick that Rashi now. In this case, because the sun is in the Sagittarius, count 4 houses from here: 1, 2, 3, and 4. You have the Pisces Rashi. So the Pisces Rashi is receiving the highest amount of light. So anything in the Pisces Rashi cannot be hidden now. People will recognize Pisces house because sun is supplying maximum sunlight there. Okay. Now, if your sun is in the 10th house from Lagna, okay, as in something like this, 10th house from the Lagna would mean something like this. You're born around 12:30 in the noon, okay? Somewhere around that time, if you're born, then only your sun could be in the 10th house. If such is the case, native is what you will understand from here is where the maximum light is, there the sun is actually shedding out all its energy onto that house because that is where maximum of sunlight is used. Okay. So maximum of sunlight is used 4 houses ahead from the sun. Now, native either keeps his focus on that particular house, okay, wherever that Rashi falls, or people are going to recognize this house. Okay. People are going to watch that house, or people are going to talk about that house in that particular native. For example, if the sun in your birth chart is placed in the 10th house, so what do the people talk about is your first house. Okay. So first house would mean your body, how you would look. Second is your fame and name, because first house carries that. First house carries the name and the fame, and first house also carries your body. So how you are looking is what people will notice in you. So you have a 10th house sun. If you don't maintain your body properly, people would look at you, why is this guy so fat? Okay. Or why is he not organizing himself? Or why doesn't he look good? Okay. This is what they will notice. Or, wow, he's looking excellent. Okay. This is what they will notice. So these two can be the possibilities. One is you are very focused on how you're dressed and people would notice it. Okay. You have a well-maintained body, people will notice it. Or you do not have it, that's why people notice you. So you are noticed by the people because of your first house. The first house will rule the body and the fame. Okay. And then the same sun in the 10th house would mean the people's disregard, where in the 7th house. So sun in the 10th house would mean focus on the first house. Sun in the same 10th house would mean no focus or no light or midnight in the 7th house. So the native's wife is not well recognized in the family, or the person is doing a business in moonlight. So he's doing a moonlighting business which nobody is aware of, or he's into a business which is like a spy kind of a thing. Okay, he's a spy, or he does maybe he does some chemical formula thing wherein the formula is a secret. Okay, he does not reveal it to anybody in the office. Okay, or his job involves some I don't know what are all those secret things that can, that can lead into a job. Okay, those are all those things. I gave you 2 examples. One is a spy. The other one, I mean, a detective kind of a job. One could be, a scientist who cannot reveal the formulas. I mean, think of those things. Which of those could be businesses? Okay, so or the seventh house is not noticed by anyone, or you do something there, you will not be noticed by anyone. Okay, so that is the what I did is I gave 4 columns, and it is just the same thing. Sun in the 10th house, sun in the 10th house, sun in the 10th house, and again sun in the 10th house in all the 4 columns. Okay, what I'm trying to describe is sun in the 10th house, the light is on the first house. Sun in the 10th house, the darkness is in the 7th house. Sun in the 10th house, the Udaya Lagna is in the 10th house. And sun in the 10th house, the 4th house is where the setting of sun is happening. So I'm trying to relate all that. Just by having sun in the 10th house, you will get all these 4 results. Okay, all these 4 results are applicable for people who have sun in the 10th house. Similar is the case with sun in the 11th house. All these 4 results are applicable to you people. And then I have the sun in the 12th house. Why I started from the 10th house is because sun gets directional strength in the 10th house. So it is just as a sentiment wherein, you can complete the lecture very well. That is why I started with sun in the 10th house. Okay. And it is a way of respecting the sun. So sun gets into the 10th house, sun is the most happiest. So I started with sun in the 10th house. So the focus comes on to the first house. And now sun in the 10th house, the unrecognized house is the 7th house. So the wife is unrecognized by the native. Okay. He does not spend much of the time with the wife. Okay. Or she's not very well known in the family. She's still called a wife of this guy. Okay. Or a daughter-in-law of this family, or a girl of that family. That is how she's called. Okay, these are the possibilities. Or he could be doing a business, as I said, which is in the moonlight. Okay, or he is trying to hold some secrets in the office, or at his 7th house. These are all the possibilities. Okay, and sun in the 10th house. What do we get here is rising sun. How does the sun rise? There's a lot of darkness around. The sun is trying to pierce out of the darkness, and sun is coming out every day. So the same thing the person is going to do. He's trying to force himself out of the issues. He's trying to work very hard, work through the darkness, and trying to rise up in life. So wherever sun is placed, the person is trying to push himself, trying to improve himself in that particular arena of life. So what does sun in the 10th would mean? The native constantly follows father's or husband's work or words. Okay, so you see, sun is the representation or the human form of Rama, right? When Rama came as an avatara, people gave him this sun, right? Parashara describes each avatara for one of the deities. So Rama is for sun, Krishna is for moon. That way we have all the 10 avatars for all the 9 planets. In the 10th avatara, Kalki is for the Lagna, right? So if you see 10th house, sun in the 10th house, where is the person trying to achieve something or push himself is, what did Rama do all his life? He has only obeyed his father's words. His father called him up and said, look, Rama, you will be coronated tomorrow. Be ready for the coronation. Rama just said namaste, came back home, and slept. In the morning around 4:30 or 5, the Dasharatha, the father of Rama, called him once again and said, Rama, you are going to leave to the forests. You are not coronated. Please leave right away to the forests. He just did namaste and went into the forest. Never questioned why is he not being coronated as advised or as requested the last night. However, he just left without any sorrow on his face. So the person is constantly pushing himself to follow the words either of the father or of the boss. Okay. And most of the times, it is difficult to actually follow such orders because the person is constantly being pressured by the father or the boss. If there is an affliction here, the sun is with the Saturn, Drishti, or Saturn's aspect, or Saturn in association, Rahu, Mars, Venus. These are all the planets which the sun does not like. If sun either gets an aspect or in the association of these planets, sun would struggle to, what happens is there is enmity between the father and the son. Okay. The father is trying to push him too much, and the child develops an enmity, or the native develops an enmity with the father. This can be a possibility. Okay. This can be a possibility. I'm not saying that this is what is going to happen just with the sun and the Saturn in the 10th house, but for sure there can be a possibility of having an enmity between the father and the son. This also can be a possibility because the father is trying to be too pushy on him and trying to tell him, because we are ordinary people, we are not Rama, right? We are not Rama. Rama is an extraordinary person. Whatever his father did to him, he only just obeyed to it. We are not like Rama. So we would all have emotions, and we would definitely question back our father, asking, look, why are you doing this to me? Okay, you're denying a kingdom to me, that's fine, but why would I have to leave to forests? I wouldn't do that. Okay. So the person is going to bounce back on him. If the sun is extremely well placed, okay, the sun is extremely powerful, it means that the native is actually trying to make his father win every time, and that's why this man is losing in life. Okay, that also is a problem. So just merely having sun in the 10th house would not mean a government job. Okay, please do not fall for these predictions. These don't work in the real world. Okay, the reality is, if you want to look at job, D10 has to be seen, then only a job prediction can be given. You cannot be talking just by looking merely at the Rashi chart and looking at the 10th house sun and saying, wow, you got a government job. This is utter nonsense. It doesn't work like that 90% of the times. Okay, if it works, it's just by a fluke. Okay, are you losing audio at times?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Huh?
Yeah, I
No,
can
audio
hear
is
you.
very clear, sir.
Audio is clear? Okay. Okay. Audio is clear. I think somebody else has a problem. Maybe it's at your end, Nagu. You may have to look at it from there. Give me a second, please. Okay, so sun in the 10th house, the people who, the place where sun is going to set is the 7th house from the sun, which falls in the 4th house. So the native is occupied at office, therefore he needs some support at the home, or somebody else has to support his home, or his wife, or his mother, okay, or any 4th house activities. He's a little poor in handling them. It can be like, you have a car and you always need a driver because you have a 10th house, okay, or poor driving skills. You need some support there. So how do we just rate all these? Just to reiterate what I said, the 4th house is the rising sun, from where people are going to recognize you. Whatever house that falls into be, that depends on where your sun is. Just take that house, count 4 houses from the sun, look at what house it happens to be from the Lagna. That is where you are recognized for. It could be a good thing or a bad thing. That's a different thing. I mean, people could be recognized in the community for wrongdoings as well. Okay, we will get to it once we talk about all the houses. You'll understand that. But you may get a bad name as well, just because sun is in the 10th and you have the Lagna in the light now. So everybody will shed light on you for the Lagna. Your Lagna is your name, your fame. So you could be famous for wrong reasons. Okay. Next is the 10th from the sun is where the darkness is. So even if you commit a mistake there, maybe it goes unrecognized. People may, pardon you for it, or people will not bother about it at all, depending on where it is. Okay. First is where you're struggling. First is where you're constantly working to get the darkness out and rise in your life. So wherever sun is placed, the straightforward thing is you are trying to work in that field. Your interest is in that field. So if you pick up that as a profession, because naturally it interests you, you are going to go a long way. Okay. Seventh from sun is where the sun is setting. Okay. That is where the sun doesn't have, or sun starts to lose its, when the sun is setting, right? What happens? Light is going off slowly. So sun is losing its control over it. So you need to supply power there. You need to supply somebody else there so that your wishes of that house are fulfilled. This is what this conceptually. It's a very straightforward concept. It's a very straight, simple thing. Why I describe this is because I'm not very sure how many people will get it with just one or two examples. So I've described this whole thing here. Now let's look at sun in the 11th house. So there would be maximum light on the second house because sun is in the 11th house. Count 4 houses from there: 11, 12, 1, and 2. So maximum light gets onto the second house. So if your second house, or in other words, if I have to show it here, okay, sun in the 11th house, right? Now let's see, this is sun is in the 10th house. Now, if it was, right, now see 11:30, it's just the sun is in the 11th house. It is still the Rashi is the Meena, or the Pisces is still receiving the light, but it is the second house from Lagna now. Okay, just have a look at the Rashi now. The Lagna is Kumbha. Previously at 12:30, how much was it? What was it? It was Meena, right? Sun in the 10th house, it was Meena. Now sun is in the 11th house because I just moved the time, birth time is 11:30 now. Now the Lagna moved to the Kumbha. Now sun is in the 11th house. The focus is still on the Meena Rashi, which happens to be the second house. Okay, hope you're getting this. If you're not, then you have to go back and forth in the video. Okay. Native is focused on family. Second house significations are family, money, spending habits. He may be having some harsh speech because sun is a harsh man. Okay. Sun is like a father. Sun is not trying to please people. Sun is very straightforward. If a strict action has to be taken, he's going to take a stricter action. If a stricter voice has to be raised, he would raise a voice. Okay, so harsher speech, or the family name. So the people could notice your surname. Okay, you're more recognized by your surname, or you're more recognized by your family's work that is done in the community, or you're more recognized for your second house thing, which is your voice, your speech. Okay, or second house could be your accumulated wealth. Okay, that means the money that is there in the store for you. And your spending habits as well come from the second house. Okay, because depending on how your family spending is, that way you are going to be raised, right? Your mother and father spending is what you're going to adapt to. So what is important is spending habits can come from the second house as well. Okay, sun in the 11th house once again. Okay, let me just show you here. Sun is in the 11th house, and count 4 houses back from there, or you can count 10 houses forward. Both are the same. You have this Rashi. Okay, this Rashi is Virgo. It's here. Okay, sun, 10 houses you count from there. It's here. This is where the darkness is. This is where the midnight is. It's still not changed. It's just the same thing. Now it has moved into the Rashi of the 8th house. So what does that people will not consider about? People will not consider about your 8th house things. No matter how much ever you try, people may not recognize you for your eighth house things. Okay. So you may have a lot of knowledge on the occult, but people may not recognize you as an occultist or somebody who knows something about the 8th house things. Or you're not well known in the market about your 8th house skills, whatever they can be. It could be your inheritance, because 8th house would mean inheritance. There are a lot of significations for each of the house, and I made a list of it. I would maybe post it the next week because I've still not got a time to review it. I would do that the next week. Or if you can look at it from the Uttara Kalamruta, or maybe from other books wherever it is mentioned, you can look at what each houses would signify. Any of those things can go unrecognized. Okay. Okay. Or you may not be focusing very much on it. Okay. Sun in the 11th house, you could be neglecting yourself on the on the inheritance that can come, on the occult studies, okay, on the gambling thing or lottery thing. You may not be believing in lottery, okay. You don't believe in lottery at all. You would think something which is hard work is important, or people do not recognize much about your 8th house, okay. Sun in the 11th house, that is where the rising sun is. So where are you trying to improve yourself? You're trying to improve yourself on the relationships with the elder brother, your salary, okay, your fixed salary is what you're looking at, because sun is a fixed planet. Sun always wants a stable salary. He does not want to work on a commission, okay. So maybe he's looking for a stable job, okay. Maybe if he's on commission, he would be more worried because, look, I'm not having a stable job. You please give me some salary and then you pay me an incentive, but just not keep me only on the incentive, okay. Maybe he has some issues with that such things. If it is paid just by the incentive and no fixed salary, he would be trying to get some work for a fixed salary rather than for a commission, okay. Sun in the 11th house, where does native need support? On the 5th house. So the person is very busy, occupied at the workplace on the earning, because 11th house is a standard salary. It's a 9 to 5 job, a strict job wherein you have to follow timings, okay. So the person is actually got a caretaker for his kid, okay. This can be a possibility. Needs support to raise children, okay. He is a person who would, because 11th house would also mean friends. So this person is trying to, work more with friends. So he would be interested in group studies, studying along with those people, so that, 5th house is education, or, securing a degree for yourself. So to get that bachelor's degree, or to get that diploma, that which you're trying after your 12th or so, that comes into the 5th house. And the 9th house is your higher education or the PG. And the 8th house is your research, PhD and stuff like that. Okay. So you would be looking at group study, okay, and maybe your child needs support. Okay, this is what could be the possibilities. Now, sun in the 12th house, the third would be the place where it receives the most light. The third house receives the most light. Let me just throw this backwards furthermore. Okay, I've made this as 9:30. Okay, now the birth time is 9:30. Now you can see sun is in the 12th house in both the charts. So it is still the Meena Rashi that is receiving the maximum amount of light. Count 4 houses from here, you get the 12th. Okay, the 12th is Meena Rashi. But because the sun is in the 12th house, the Meena Rashi is receiving the most light, but it happens to be the 3rd house from the Lagna now. Okay, so what happens now? You are known because of your 3rd house. What do you have in your 3rd house? It is because of your courage. Okay, you may have had a lot of troubles, but you have a lot of courage, and you are very known for your talking over your phone. You have a very good communication skills, or you don't have communication skills at all. You're known for it. Okay, it could be both ways, or you are very timid. You don't have the courage. Okay, so then is your local travels. You travel a lot. That is why you're known. Or you do not like to travel and you have spoiled your life because maybe opportunities must have come to you. You did not travel at all and you stayed back at a place, just looking at, you may be thinking that, I am very happy at my birthplace. I did not move. So your 12th house has a sun. So that's why you lost opportunities in life. Okay. Or your brother has achieved a lot in his life, because 3rd house is brother or sister. Any sibling is 3rd house. So he has achieved a lot in his life. That is why you are known because of your brother. Okay. Or your brother became a drunkard, and that's why you're known that, look, he's the brother of the drunkard. Okay. It can also happen so. Or something else is committed by the brother, or he has secured a very big rank in the competition exam or whatever. Okay. Good things, bad things, you will be in light for it. Okay. 9th, I mean, I'm not trying to cover each and everything of it. You may have to read it because I'm going to provide you the video. However, still the whole page is not complete. It's still in the draft stage. Only the next week or the other next week, I'll upload this page. Till then, you have to, be kind to me by reading this through the video. Okay. Now, Sun in the 12th house. What is in the darkness? The darkness is the 9th house. So the father could be in darkness. The father must have left this world long ago. Okay, this can be a possibility. See, these are all possibilities. I'm not saying that this is what is definitely going to happen. Please do not pronounce any death, etc. to anyone just by looking merely at the sun in the 12th house, because such things need confirmations from the Navamsha, etc. And more things have to show that, including the Dasha, have to show that the father is not, not living long. I'm not going to teach these things because I'm very sure the moment I teach it to people, they'll apply it on their own charts, trying to time their father's death, etc., which I'm not interested to teach. Anyway, so what you will see is the father is in darkness. So either the father is not very well known in the family, your father must have left, and mother is actually taking care of father's role as well. Okay, or 9th house itself is bhagya. Bhagya means the fortune or the future. Okay, the person is not bothered about his future in the early age, at the very first, time of his life, when he was picking up his first job or second job, etc., or during the college. Those times, the person was not very careful about career. He picked up some job and he's repenting for it because, look, I tried to pick up this job and I had to settle to less. Okay. Had I not picked up the job and did something else or studied something more, maybe I would have settled very well. There can be such thing, with the person. Or he actually, quit studies, got a very great business opportunity because his father is died. Had he studied something else, maybe he would be earning like a lakh rupee or so. Because his father died, he picked up that business, and today he is in crores. Okay, it could be either way. Never think that sun is in the 12th house, it's a bad combination. Sun is in the 9th house, it's a good combination. It is never like that. You cannot generalize such things. It is impossible. Merely looking at the Rashi chart, you can never say what is very good. Okay, unless you apply your brains using the nakshatras that we did. And also, if you understand a few of these intricacies, that is when you will see, okay, all the planets are, showing towards a downfall. That is when the whole horoscope can go down. Okay, it is not just merely by one planet or two planets placement. Even if you get to see those planets in the 12th house, 8th house, 6th house, they would be absolutely great. They don't have any problem. You will get to see such people. Okay, if you are not surprised, okay, it means that you're good. If you're surprised, it means you need more charts, get to see them, and then you will understand, okay, it is not the 6, 8, 12 placements which are actually troubling. It is something else. Okay. We will slowly get there. Sun in the 12th house. What is the native trying to improve? He is trying to constantly cut down expenses. Okay. He wants, he always budgets. He would want to rise up in budgeting, or he want to plan up things very well. There are surprises in life. Okay. He does not want surprises because 12th house, you have surprises in life, and he's trying to improve there. Okay. Or he's trying to plan much better. Why there is not enough planning? There is a complaint always because he likes to plan. 12th house. 12th house is planning. It is an important house. Do not think it's a bad house. None of the 12 houses are bad. Each of the house has a good signification and each of the house has a bad signification, including the lagna. No house is good, no house is bad. If somebody tells you 6, 8, 12 are bad houses, yes, they are bad houses, but they are bad houses for a reason. It's not that they are bad completely. It is as if you're talking your left hand is a bad one and the right hand is a good one. Assume your life without the left hand. Why it's a bad hand, right? Why would you need it? Just take this hand off your body. You don't need it. Okay. It's just like that. Okay. Sun in the 12th house. The 6th house needs support. So what do you have in the 6th house? Your mother's sibling. 4th house is the mother. 3 houses from there is your 6th house. So your mother's sibling may need support from you, or you may seek support from your mother's sibling. Okay. Both can be possible. Or you are not very good at solving your problems. You need an arbitrator, or you need a, I get to see a lot of people who has, who has this combination. What I feel is they would either hire a lawyer or an arbitrator or a consultant just to address one of his issues at least once in life. Okay. Because he has some weakness. He knows that, he acknowledges that, look, I'm not good at this place. Let me try to hire someone, throw that responsibility over him, and let's get that done. Okay. Now let's move into Sun in the first house. So when you have Sun in the first house, I am throwing this back once again, so that I'm moving the Lagna to this 6:30. Now you have Sun in the first house. Sun in the first house, it's still the focus is on the Meena Lagna, Meena Rashi. Now you see, I'm only moving the Lagna. Okay. Now still the Rashi in focus. Sun, count 4 houses from Sun, it is still the Meena. Okay. I'm not changing anything. Now, but it is the 4th house from the Lagna, because the Lagna has changed. Okay. Lagna has changed. 4th house comes into light. What does 4th house would mean? Mother, home, motherland, cars, vehicles, his travels, his comforts, his sofa, where he sleeps, his bedroom, anything that brings in luxury to him, he's known for it. So he may be having a car, could be a great car, or he has a Dokku car, which is, it's a useless car. It's been a bad car for long. He's not selling it. He only drives that car. Okay. Even for that, he's known. Both are equally possible. Sun in the first house. So where is the darkness? The darkness is in the 10th house. I'm still counting 4 houses backwards. I still get the same Rashi. Okay. It is the Virgo, but that has gone into the 10th house. Now, Sun in the first house, the 10th house will be in darkness. So the person is not bothered about, the father, right? Sun is father. Father is very strict on his actions. Sometimes when he does actions, he displays cruelty. Because of cruelty, you'll get bad name. Bad name is what, Sun is not afraid of. Okay, you would think that I'm a strict father. If the need be, you think, okay, but I need my child to follow a certain, etiquettes or certain things in life, so that he would be on the right track. I cannot leave him. Let my child think I'm a little disciplined, or I'm trying to push him. Let him think so. So 10th house is fame. Okay, because of the actions, if I'm getting a bad name, but if I have to do such thing, okay, let's suppose there is an eve teasing happening at the bus stop. Okay, somebody ladki ko chhed rahe hain koi. Okay, eve teasing is happening. What would the father do? The father would say, hey, stop it. Okay, he's not going to encourage it, right? So he can slap the guy who is doing the eve teasing. He may not be afraid, or he may not be worried for it. That look, what if the policeman would ask me if I'm a bad man or so? Okay, I'm just trying to throw some examples out here. Okay, it can be anything. So a selfish man or a focused man, both things are possible from here. Okay, because Sun is a selfish man. He's trying to help his family. If you think it is a selfish thing, it's a good thing. If you think it is a very bad thing, it's a bad thing. Okay. Public does not, does not think much about what job he's doing, or he's not recognized by the job he's doing. If you have Sun in Lagna, he is not recognized by the job he is doing. This can be a possibility. Or he's very strict about his actions. That also can be a possibility. Sun in the 10th house, the native is trying to improve himself. Okay. He is trying to constantly improve upon himself, his personality, his looks, beauty, image in the society. So maybe how he looks is what he's focused on. Or maybe how he can improve his personality. He's focused on that. He's focusing on all these things. Sun in the first house. 7th house is where the support is needed, because that is where the astamaya of Sun happens, or the setting of Sun happens. So native is struggling in the matters of relationships, because cruelty cannot be used in relationships. If you want to sustain a relationship, you have to be a lot amicable. You have to bow down your head. You have to sacrifice a lot of things. Seventh house is very bad for Sun. Okay. In all the seventh house matters, Sun is very weak. Okay. Because Sun is cruel. Sun is straightforward. Seventh house is diplomacy. Even though you do not like a few things in the opposite person, you cannot show cruelty to him. You cannot be straightforward and upfrontly tell him, look, I don't like you. If you do that, if you keep doing that, 99.99% will be wading away from you. Nobody would like to talk to you because look, this guy is egoistic, is what they will stamp you as. They'll say, look, this man is egoistic because, he keeps complaining that I need to improve on that. I need to improve on this. Who is he to tell me all that? People will not like it. Okay, that is the problem with the Sun. So he needs coaching, or he needs to bow his head down and say, look, these are relationships. I need to sacrifice myself here. Okay, and it's a compromise, is a relationship. Sun in the second house. Okay, Sun in the second house. I'm moving this backwards furthermore. Sorry for that. Now the Sun is in the second house. If Sun is in the second house from the Lagna, but still the focus point, nothing has changed. Okay, everything remains the same. Okay, if you're not able to understand what I'm saying, it's a very simple thing. You have to go back and forth in the video. Okay, Sun in the second house. The native is focused on education. Now you see Pisces, where is Pisces? It's in the fifth house. Okay, if you count from here, fifth house is here, Pisces is here. This is where the fourth house's light is coming to. So you have the fifth house light. So what does fifth house light would mean? You are known because of your children. Okay, it could be a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, I can give you 2 examples. A guy's child has performed very well in the exams. You're known because of your child. Okay, the child has got a disease. Okay, and you're known because of your child, because it's a rare disease and you're known as the mother of that child or the father of that child. That is how it is. Both can be possible. Or the education that you have got is outstanding, or something which not ordinary people can get. That is what, maybe in the community, whoever talks about you. Okay, it's not that you are a chief minister or a prime minister or always a celebrity, but in the people that you know, or in the people that that talk about you. Okay, so that is not a usual degree people will get. Or you have quit school in the 3rd grade. Okay, you came up to the 3rd class or the 4th standard in the school, and you gave up schooling, or you gave up education completely. So your 5th house is gone. Okay, you are known because of your 5th house, or you are a very extraordinarily intelligent person. Okay, because 5th house is intelligence. You're known because of it. Or you are a completely foolish person. You're known because of it. You, in the sense, as a native, anyone. Okay, never take offense in such things. It can be either ways. Okay, so Sun in the second house, where there is darkness, the darkness is in the 11th house. Sun in the second house, the person struggles to maintain relationships with the friends. He cannot maintain relationships with friends. He is more focused at home. He is not going to office on a regular salary thing. He does not want to go there. Maybe support his father at home, then and give up office. Maybe he's not going to office regularly. There are complaints around it. Okay, or you are born in a house wherein your salary is nothing for them. Okay, you're born in a very rich place, rich family. Your 11th house is your monthly salary. Your monthly salary is so less in front of your family. Okay, you're working in a small job. Okay, so people maybe do not recognize you because of that. Or your salary could be anything, but you're known more because of your family, not because of your money. Okay. Second house, native is trying to improve on speech, because second house is speech. So he wants to control harsh speech, because second house Sun, the person can be talking harshly to people. He wants to improve there. Okay, or the person is is not having a good speech. Maybe he stammers a bit. He wants to improve on the stammering thing. Okay, that can be a possibility. Or in a family matters, or the wealth that he wants to save. Okay, second house is accumulated wealth, spending habits, control irregular income or expenditure. Okay, but the problem here is the 11th house is in the darkness. So irregular income is something which is expected here. Okay, unless the other people in the, I mean, if this happens to be head of the family or the breadwinner, then the income is actually fluctuating. Okay, does not mean that it is a poor guy. Okay, never take that it is a poor guy. I told you in the past as well, if you're looking at a movie star, he signs up for a movie, shares money on the income received. Okay, so this person gets, he could be getting 800 crores once or 8 crores once. So it still is a wealthy man. So do not decide saying, look, second house sun may be poor because sir has just said. No, it is not like that. Anybody can be poor, anybody can be rich. Just not merely by this placement you can understand who is rich or who is not having money. Okay, you can't be deciding it with just one placement. Okay, please hold your horses. It takes at least 3-4 months from now for you to understand, slowly digest everything. Then we will link up everything from the nakshatras to these houses into the Navamsha, then into the Dasha. Just hold your horses for now. Try to understand what I'm trying to teach. Don't make conclusions of big sort. Okay, please don't take any offense, just in case I'm trying to actually emphasize something. Okay, take it in the positive sense. Sun in the second house, 8th house is where the person needs support. Okay, the person may need support to protect his inheritance. He is working somewhere, his inheritance is elsewhere, somebody has to safeguard it, or maybe there are chances that his inheritance is lost. Okay, because nobody is keeping an eye on it for different reasons. You know, what is that in English? It is called kabja. Kabja ko kya bolte hain Hindi, English mein? Whatever that is. Okay, unearned money, donations from others, support monetarily, okay, or in-laws need support. These are all the possibilities. Or you may be needing support from the in-laws. Both are possible. Okay, maybe your in-laws are supporting you. Even that can be a possibility. Okay, sun in the third house. A lot of people say that, you know, sun in the third house is an excellent position. I do not deny, yes, that is right. However, there is no excellent position for any planet. There is no bad position for any planet. If your work is in tune with what the planet is saying, you are happy. If your work is opposite to what the planet is saying, you are sad. So try to tune your work the way the planets are saying. So if you take a consultation, what you will be focusing on is, look, you tell me what are all those things I can do so that I'll be successful. Okay, this is what is astrology all about. So let me move this into the third house. So if I pull this further down, what happens is, so at 2:30, the sun is in the third house. So these are approximate times. It will change every day. Okay, maybe a little 1 hour here and there, but it will be almost around the 2 a.m. or 2:30 a.m. is when your the third house sun will be. So if you have a third house sun, it is still, you can see that the 4 house counting is the same. Okay, 4 house you count, you still have Meena Rashi. Okay, from sun you count 4 Rashis, you have Meena as
Okay,
the
sorry,
4th house.
రేవంత్ రెడ్డి వీడియో పెట్టాడా
ఏంటమ్మా?
I'm sorry.
Okay. So Revanth Reddy video పెట్టాడు అంట. Okay. Anyway, okay, it's still the 4th house from the sun, which happens to be the 6th house. Okay, now you see from the Lagna, it is the 6th house that comes into focus. The person is known because of the 6th house matters. The person could be very helpful, a lot of servitude, right? Because wherever the sun sheds light, the person shows a lot of servitude. The person is very willing to offer voluntarily service. This can be a possibility. or the person is actually escaping from the work or escaping from servitude. Both can be possibilities. Okay, the person is very concentrated on learning things to solve problems for others. Okay, if you have Sun in the third house, you're very focused on solving problems for others and solving problems for yourself because your focus is problems. Okay, what problem do you have? Okay, let me solve it. What problem do I have? Let me solve it. I have debts. Let me address them. I have a disease. Let me address them by going to the right doctor, take the right medicines in the right time, and get rid of those Roga, Rina, and the Shatru. I have enemies. Let me sit with the enemies, talk to them, because Sun, right? Sun would want to talk to the enemies and tell them, advise them, look, why are you developing enmity? Okay, I'm your father. I'm a well-wisher. I'm trying to correct things for you. Do not be, showing enmity towards me. Be friendly. Okay. Then the opposite person will not have anything to say, but just bow down his head and say, oh, thank you for the advice. That is how Sun is going to talk. Okay. These people would be very capable in doing that because in the third house, the rising Sun is in the third house. The person is constantly improving on, giving lectures or talking to people, communication skills, learning a language, trying to learn something on the vocational side, a pastime, okay, or something which is useful as a pastime, like the astrology thing. People would want to learn it because it's just a pastime, and also they want to be focused on it. They want to rise there. It's a vocational thing, right? They could be focused on their siblings, okay? They could be focused on their languages and all that. So Sun in the third house, the 12th house will have the darkness. So what would darkness would mean is people may not recognize that you may have had an operation, or you're not very known for your enemies. What else can be there? Your spending could be very high. You may be ignoring what you're spending, okay? Or people may not recognize how much ever you're spending. They don't bother because this man has money is what they think, okay? These are all the things 12th house can show. Can be traveling also. The person could be traveling very highly, but nobody looks at him as a big traveler, okay? The travel goes unnoticed. Okay, and Sun in the third house, where you need support is in the 9th house, or where you seek support or where you give support. Your father may be needing your support, or you may be needing the father's support. It could be vice versa, or it could be mutual, or it could be just the father needing the support, or just the person needing the support, or it could be your guru. Okay, the guru may be needing a support, or you may be needing a support from a guru. Okay. I'm not trying to give you every signification. You have to think over. Okay. So if something is not working, it means that you're only applying half the rule. Sun in the 4th house, 7th house would be in the focus. So native is focused on wife, native is making partnerships, native is seeking others' help, native is in a business, or native is trying to be selfish or focus more on self-development. Okay. And people will talk about these things. Okay. So do not think Sun in the 4th house is completely a bad thing. Sun in the 4th house could be a bad thing, could be a good thing. We will get to those things in the next class, because next class we will talk about Rama's life and Sun in all 12 houses, and how does Rama connect, because Sun is Rama, the avatara is Rama. So based on how Sun is, based on how Rama's life was in that particular area, we are going to get a lot of predictions. We will talk about it the next week. And the first thing that you can look at is, if it's the 4th house Sun, it means the directional strength is lost. Okay. The directional strength, when it is lost, what happens with that is Sun focuses on the 7th house. So Sun looks at everybody else for directions. Okay. Sun is confused. So if the person has the right direction, right path to go in his life because of his father, if his father is an established guy who is in a public service, or if he is a politician, or if he knows a lots of people in the community, wherever he is, okay, let's suppose he's a big doctor, he's a big politician. If he's a big IAS officer, the father, and then his son has 4th house son, it's okay. If the father has not accomplished anything in his life and father has already left the world and this person is a breadwinner at a very tender age, maybe 18, 19, 20, 16, whatever you consider it to be a tender age, young age, if this guy gets a responsibility, it could be very difficult for him if his father has not accomplished anything for him. Okay. This is one thing where the person can struggle. If the sun is absolutely great in that house, okay, it means if the sun is exalted in the Aries and if it's in the 4th house, that means the Lagna happens to be Capricorn and sun is exalted in the Aries, you may have more troubles actually. If the sun is in the Capricorn, Lagna is the Libra, if still the 4th house, you may have a lesser problem. Okay, it is because Capricorn will make you work. Okay, Capricorn is the Rashi where work has to be done. So the person has to get up and do something. Okay, it's still a general statement. It's still a generic statement. You need a lot of combinations for this. Unless you look at the whole horoscope, please do not make conclusions. But I'm trying to explain why sun in the 4th house is usually considered bad. Okay, however, do not make conclusions here. This is just still the first class. Do not come to a conclusion as yet. Sun in the 4th house, the 1st house will lose the light. Okay, that is why. Because sun is the representation of body, right? Sun takes care of the health. That is why it exalts in the Aries. Because 1st house is Aries, 1st house is body. So Aries takes care of health. So if there is 1st house darkness, the person is not trying to understand, he's getting a bad name. Okay, first problem with that is bad name. Sun in the 4th house, bad name keeps coming and going. Okay, people will think that, look, this person doesn't have name. Okay, or people may think this person is not bothered about his image in the public. Okay, because he's not bothered. Next is his body. He's not trying to maintain his body. Okay, maybe his body is out of shape. He has some issues with the health. He's not taking care of those things, etc. And then you have sun in the 4th house. Where is he rising? He's always trying to find ways to get more comforts. This is the problem sun has. Sun is a planet which gets directional strength in the 10th house. Sun gets directional strength in the 10th house, correct? If he happens to be in the 4th house, what is he trying to do? He is only not doing any job because 10th house is job. Sun is the planet. If there is work, Sun is the first planet who is going to come to your rescue and Sun will do the job because Sun is punctual. Sun is disciplined. Sun likes work. That is why he is absolutely great in the 10th house. Okay. If such a planet gets into the 4th house, what is he trying to do? He's avoiding work. Okay. He's trying to, find shortcuts in life. If you ask me, shortcuts good or bad? Shortcuts are very good. Had shortcuts not been there, there were no inventions happening. Okay. But, let us suppose you're a scientist. Okay. What happens? You do not have a proper income at the home and you're a scientist, or you're trying to research on something yourself, you need a lot of fund, how your family is going to live, all that. Okay, so, or finding ways to get more comforts. This person is actually willing not to work. How can I stop working and get all the comforts is what he is looking at, which is very bad for sun. Okay, because sun is a planet who would want to work. Such a planet, if you've got in the 4th house and the other left out planet is Mars, even the Mars is badly placed, it is very difficult for you to actually be pushed into work. You will always keep shirking your work. You will keep leaving your work, uninformed. Nobody knows where you are. Okay, these are the problems that can keep creeping. Or this guy is more focused on his mother. Okay, his vehicles, his comforts. I would not want to move myself an inch and let everything come to me. How can that be possible if you are a poor man's child? If you are a wealthy man's child, you have an air-conditioned office. You will sit very well there. Everything comes up for your signature. You just sign and go every day. People will come to you and say, look, sir, our sales has been so much. This is our profit. This is our loss. So profit is good. You get your money and happy. If you are in losses, you will call for a meeting, talk to them without moving an inch from your chair. That can be possible. Okay, so you're a rich man, sun in the fourth is good. You're a poor man, sun in the fourth is doing more harm. Okay, sun in the fourth house, the 10th house, you need support. So father's cousins, father's family, it could be your cousins, your siblings as well. Even 10th house can show that. Natives, parents or siblings may be needing support, or you may be seeking support from them because you're unemployed. Okay, so all this. Support staff. Sometimes when you are a big guy, your support staff is what you're looking at for help. Any problem you are in, you'll call your, your chartered account. You'll call you have a chartered accountant. You have a son in the fourth house. You're a rich man. You'll call your chartered accountant and say, look, there is some problem here. Please come and solve it. He's going to rush and come because you're a rich man. Okay. Sun in the fifth house. The eighth house is the focus. Now, eighth house is focused in the sense you are focused on improving your immovable properties. You can be focused on improving your immovable properties, inheritance, insurance, occult sciences, gambling. Gambling can be anything. I mean, don't always think that you're trying to play a playing card or a casino or anything. Gambling is risking your life. Okay. Or trying to put most of your money in the markets where the returns are high and the risk is also high. Okay, that is gambling. Okay, adventurous. And people will talk about these things. This guy is an adventurous man. Okay, sun in the fifth house. What you're neglecting or what the people are neglecting is people don't consider you as is which family you came from. If you have got a very good education and you've got a very good position, because fifth house is the position, the chair. So you've got a very good position, people will not talk about the family that you came from. Instead, what they'll talk about, the degrees that you have earned, the position that you have, etc. Okay. Sun in the fifth house, the person is trying to improve upon studies. He's getting more and more degrees. He's looking at the promotion at the office because fifth house is promotion. He's also focused on begetting children. Okay. If you have fifth house sun is a loner, so having children is a little difficult. Always look at the Saptamsha. We will talk about it once sun is over. Maybe Saptamsha I'll cover after sun. So never say the challenge with the fifth house sun is the person is trying to improve there, or he's trying to beget children, or he wants to adopt a child. Okay, because he wants to improve his status from just being married couple to parents. Okay, because sun is promotion, or sun is the fifth house is promotion. So they want to promote themselves from just as a couple to a parent. Okay, even that is a promotion. So he's trying to improve there. And then you have sun in the fifth house. The place where you need support is the 11th house. So the native friends may need support, or native may seek support from friends. Okay, for completing his work. Father's siblings may also need the support of the native or others. Okay, sun in the sixth house. The native is focused on future. Okay. What usually people say is sun in the third house, sixth house, ninth house are excellent placements. However, what I would say is there is no excellent placement. There is no bad placement. Sun is equally, sun in the sense, any planet for that matter, they are all equally good in all the 12 houses. They're equally bad in all the 12 houses. If you are in synchronization with what your planets are talking, you can improve your life. This is what astrology is focused upon. Okay. Or that is how an astrology has to be. Right. Sixth house sun is focused on the ninth house. The person is absolutely great at putting hard work because sixth house. So you will get to see sixth house. Native is constantly improving on fighting problems, learning new skills, clearing debts, learning new sports, new games, or new diplomacy, all that stuff. He's trying to learn everything of the sixth house to fight competition. Okay. And Because of that, the future of the native or the bhagya of the native, the ninth house, is going to improve. The father would be happy, or the father needs whatever the father is asking for, this person is actually trying to give. Okay, this can be also there. Improving upon the dharma of the person, his interests. People are going to talk about all these things. Okay. And the sixth house, what people cannot talk, do not talk about is this third house things. Native may not be known for his pastime things. Maybe he has some vocational courses he has done, or maybe some pastimes he's done some mastery in some techniques or something, some sports, some game, but he's not well recognized by that, but he is more recognized by his ninth house. Okay. People may ignore his siblings. Okay. Sun in the sixth house. You have the focus, as I said, in fighting problems, debts, and all that. Sun in the sixth house. The 12th house matters. The person will need support. The native's grandparents may need support. Native may have got help from his grandparents. Okay. Or maybe he needs help in budgeting things. Okay. So he's not very good at planning. Maybe he needs a financial planner or any other planner to train him in certain things. Okay. Next is Sun in the seventh house. If you count, okay, let me move this to. I have not moved this for long, is it? Okay. Sun in the seventh house. The native is focused. So it's still the sun is going to focus on the Meena Rashi. The native is focused on improving his image in the family, in the father's family. Okay. So the wife is a lot troublesome. Okay, because this person is egoistic. The wife could be egoistic. There could be a tug of war happening, a war tussle happening, power tussle happening between these two people. Either the sun is in the first house or in the seventh house. You usually get to see struggles in the couple, just trying to understand who is going to rule. Okay, am I the ruler in the home, or are you the ruler in the home? I need a clarity on that, is what sun would be struggling upon, because sun cannot share power. Okay, sun is a king. Sun wants to sit idle or single over there on the chair. However, if both the wife and the husband are employed and very busy in their own employments, if they're very busy in their own schedules, nobody has time to talk to each other, or seldom they talk to each other, the relationship is absolutely great. If they have enough of free time, they are going to quarrel upon these things, wherein who is going to rule here. Okay. So the seventh house sun, the native is focused on improving his image in the family. Okay. So he will keep saying, look, wife, we need to improve, our image at my father's place. Wife would say, why should we be improving? We're already good. Why focus on that? Focus on something else. Okay. These are simple things for which people would be quarreling. Okay. Or the person is trying to secure a job. He's actually struggling. This guy wants to secure a job. Okay. And he may be having a very good job for which he is very known, or he may be struggling in a job, that's why he is very much known. Both can be possible. Or picking up a routine, okay, or following father's words. This is one big thing which I get to see every time a sun is there, the fourth house from the sun. The person is trying to, improve upon his father's words wherever this happens. Okay. So if it just connects to the 10th house, father's words, because 9th house is father, second house from the 9th house is father's words, which happen to be the 10th house. Okay. So the person is talked about in the family for what? About his 10th house. Okay. Which is the job. Either he has a very good job or he has no job. So people are talking about it. Okay. Sun in the 7th house. The 4th house is what the people will ignore, or the native will ignore himself. Sun in the 7th house, the person gets green card very easily. Okay. Simple travel, get a green card. Okay. This is a very good position for getting a green card, because the person can leave the motherland easily. Fourth house gets into darkness. Or his mother is here and he is actually living elsewhere. Or his mother is not very recognized for the efforts she's doing. His cars are not very well known. Maybe he's not known because of his comforts he's enjoying. Maybe he's known for something else, for the job that he has, but not for the cars or the comforts he's enjoying. Native is more recognized because of his father, but not because of his mother, because the fourth house is in darkness. Okay. Sun in the seventh house, the native is constantly trying to improve himself at the relationship side. He wants to actually improve on relationships. But the problem is he's trying very logically there. Okay. Sun tries everything by logic. Okay. I talk to her like this. Okay. This is what she will say. And then I would say this. This is how he's trying to practice or mock his whole thing. When he approaches his wife, the whole thing changes because it's a human. The emotion, the whole thing is going to change. Okay. And if he's trying to improve his relationship like this, it cannot improve because there needs a compromise. Relationships are very good when you have a compromise. The one person is actually bowing down to the other person. And the problem with the sun, either in the first house or in the seventh house, is people do not want to bow down to each other. Okay. And they do not want to agree upon somebody else's terms because sun doesn't like to work under somebody else. Okay. Improving relationship with business partners, with wife, traveling or meeting a wife. Okay. So sun in the seventh house would mean meeting your wife in a foreign land. The person is actually, constantly trying for it. Or business partners or business. He's trying to do some business or he's trying to get some business partners into confidence to start a business, etc. He's trying for it. He's striving for it. Sun in the seventh house, the first house needs support. So the person himself needs a lot of support. He needs counseling or he needs monetary support. He doesn't have a job. Okay, a lot of things can be possible. Or he is not looking at himself. Maybe if he gets, he needs support for the first house matters, more or less. Okay, Sun in the eighth house, the native is focused on his salary. Okay, and he's completing his desires for life. Okay, and his friends, his elder sibling. These are the things the people are talking about. Sun in the eighth house, most of the people will talk about the salary he is earning. Maybe he's earning a very good salary or he's earning a very poor salary. Both can be talked about. Okay, he's not able to fulfill whatever desires he has, or he is trying to fulfill whatever desires he has. Both can be talked about. They can talk about the friends or the elder sibling. So elder sibling could be very well doing or very badly doing. Because लोगों का काम है बात करना. So people will keep talking either good or bad about people. So what is recognized is what we are trying to get from here. What goes unrecognized is the fifth house. If the sun is in the eighth house, the fifth house from Lagna will be unrecognized. That is, the native neglects education or securing degrees or children in the first part of life. Okay. Or whatever the native has studied, there is a job which is exactly opposite of which he is doing. Maybe he's a BTech graduate. He is doing a koi bank mein whatever cashier or whatever job for which a usual degree is enough. He's doing that job. Or he did not study at all anything, but he became a professor or someone or teaching something. Okay. Even that can be possible. Both can be possible. Okay. Sun in the eighth house, the native is constantly trying to improve the life of the in-laws or the immovable properties. Okay. Or focusing on or trying to secure more insurance money or trying to pay more insurance policies so that if there is a problem, we can actually bank upon this insurance, because these days the hospital things are more. So the person is actually trying to improve more on the insurance premium. Okay. Improve on hidden studies. Okay. Occult sciences. This person is interested in occult and digging out secrets. Okay. So the person is focused either on keeping things secret or digging out the secrets of others. Both can be possible. Sun in the eighth house, the second house needs support because the person is very occupied or focused on the 11th house matters. The second house matters need support from somebody else. Okay. Usually if it's a woman's chart, she goes to work and she needs a kamwali bai, she needs a maid at home, okay, to complete the chores at home. Maybe needing money from others to complete the aspirations, okay. These all can be there. Native is focused on, okay, so now sun in the 9th house is like 14. Okay, sun in the 9th house, what you will see is the native is focused on budgeting because the 4th house of sun goes into the 12th house. Okay, the 4th house focus or 4th house light of sun goes into the 12th house. Sun being in the 9th house, you have budgeting, planning, controlling expenses, foreign travels, meditation, spiritual activities, bedroom activities. All this is what people will talk about. Okay. And you have 9th house sun. What is the person, ignoring much is his daily routine can be a problem. There can be a problem with the debts. There can be a problem with the diseases. He may be ignoring those things. Or people do not even look upon him as a person who has a debts. So if somebody has sun in the 9th house, even if he has debts, people will say, how come you will not have debts? I am very sure you're talking all lies. Okay. No chance you cannot have debts, but this person has debts, or maybe he has some disease, or he doesn't look a diseased person or anything. Okay. People will not realize that easily. That is what is from here. Okay, sun in the 9th house, where is the person trying to improve himself? He is trying to improve his future. Okay, bhagya. He's trying to strive there. He's trying to struggle there. And he's trying to improve that. And also relations with the father or father's health. Okay, he's trying to practice mantras, stotras, religious texts, religious activities, practicing dharma, foreign travels, and all that. Okay. Where is that he needs help, or wherever which people are going to seek help from him, is that the native seeks the help from the siblings or neighbors, or siblings seek help from the native. These are those things which I wanted to convey. After this, in the next week, we will talk about the Veshi Yoga and the Vashi Yoga. Okay, after that, we will talk about Rama's life and sun in all the 12 houses. This is what we will focus upon. It's still a huge, long way to go. Any feedback, anything that you would want to say? Was the class interesting? Is there something that you have learned today? I'll be happy to hear. Okay. No one has questions? Wow. Was it interesting? Was it okay? Or you did not understand anything? It was too fast?
Hi, sir.
Interesting.
Interesting. Good.
Hi, sir. It's good. It's interesting. It's understanding. Now I realize like why you always say that Lagna is very important. So I
Yes.
have a question here. So these are the basic points regarding sun being in that house, right?
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned. So but it depends. Can we go over? I have a question. I'm not sure whether you're going to cover it in the future classes or not.
Okay.
So if you are saying that sun is, for example, if sun is in, let's say in the 7th house.
Okay.
So is there, these are the basic things, sun being there. So can we say that you said that 4 houses back, like in the 4th house, the 4th house represents mother and all the significations of 4th house.
Yeah.
Suppose if there is a planet in the 4th house.
Good point. Okay, I forgot to mention that. Okay, thank you for just bringing it up. Okay, so if you have planets at these places, okay, depending on where it is placed, if it's 4th from the sun, those significations are going to improve further and people will take a look at them. Okay. So if your fifth lord is placed in fourth from the sun, just read it here. Okay. So if you, that means the fifth house gets the focus. Okay. The native receives recognition from people because of his intelligence, because of the education he has, because of the degrees he has, or because of the promotion that he has got. Okay. If your fifth lord goes there. If your second lord goes there, then read here this second thing. The point why I have mentioned this is just because of that. Okay. If your second lord goes there, then the native is focused on the family, money, spending habits, harsh speech. He's known because of that. Okay. Is your question answered?
Still is there, sir. So that's one thing. And second thing is, whatever you say is, it's an amalgamation. It's a mixture of so many things. I mean to say, suppose if it is only sun in the house, right? As you said, if sun is having aspects or sun is with other bad planets, then it diminishes or it magnifies depending on your lagna and on the other planets that are there. So it's always has to so many things, permutations and combinations.
Correct.
Right, sir?
Correct.
And also one more thing is there, like if you move the seventh, and also sun, what sun represents in your chart.
Yeah.
So we need to consider all these things. It's not just because, for example, if you have sun in the seventh house and sun is along with your ascendant, our sun is and ascendant being Jupiter changes it. Ascendant being Saturn changes it.
Right.
Right, sir?
Right.
Am I doing it right, sir? Okay.
Correct.
Just I'm trying to ensure like
Right,
I
but
got it proper.
I have one point here. Okay, what you're trying to say is if ascendant is different, if the sun is in the seventh house could be either Aries or Capricorn or anything. Yes, that is very right. But you'll have 80% of these results in favor. That is why these results are being taught. Only 20% comes from the Rashi, which is going to alter it. But however, what you said is not wrong. You're right. You also need to consider the Rashi, where the sun is placed. Yes, that is also right. But we have already learned nakshatras. So from there, some amount of understanding you will get. You can add up this as well there.
Yeah, sir. Because that's what I'm thinking. The star behind the sun and the planets that are along with sun. And also one more thing I want to say, if you say that fourth, suppose I'm giving example because it's easy for me to, imagine. So
Okay.
if sun is in seventh house, so
Yeah.
you said that the fourth house will be ignored. The fourth house is mother.
Yes.
It's not fourth house. Suppose if sun is somewhere in third house and the fourth house, that means from that fourth house would be backwards. It's 12th house.
Correct.
Where it was ignored, no light. And if you have moon in the 12th house, then
Correct.
also the mother will be ignored, or mother will not be
good
right,
point.
sir?
Good point. Wherever Mars, Moon happen to be there, they're going to protect that place. So Moon also has light, right?
Oh,
Okay. So
okay. Yeah.
so if Mars or Moon happens to be there, because Mars also is a light planet, which also carries some light, because Mars is reddish. Mars also carries most of the light after the Moon. So either Mars or Moon can help. But once we read about Moon, I will talk about those things. How Mars can help, how Moon can help, because they are not going to help like Sun. Mars is not like Sun. So he's going to give you a different kind of a help. He cannot give you the straight light. He can give you the heat. Sun is a glowing planet. Sun can give you light and heat both. Moon is just the light. It cannot give you heat, correct?
Yeah.
Mars can only give you heat. It cannot give you light. So these are two different planets that can help you differently. But yes, if there is Moon, the whole thing will change.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Got it. So it depends on if this is for only the house.
Correct.
basic house, like a blind chart or something like that.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
okay, sir.
Correct.
Yeah,
More or less like a blind chart. Yes.
yeah, making it sense, sir. And I have charts, my family members and some of my friends and all. So 60% is it's working.
Okay.
Yeah, because you gave so many those karakatva significations of each house. So depending on the lagna, because for suppose if you take Capricorn or Aquarius, Sun is not like good for those lagnas, right? He will be either seventh lord or eighth lord, they say.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So if it is so depending on what Sun represents in the chart and and all the things, so it may not be either good or bad, or he is protecting from something bad happening if it is surrounded by some
No,
strong
I
planets.
think you're mixing up too many things. What I'm trying to say is, for now, what you have to understand is, if there are planets wherever darkness is appearing, wherever ignorance is appearing, either in the setting place, that is the seventh from the sun, or in the 10th from sun, if there are planets like moon or Mars, they are going to give you some support. Okay, that is when the whole fabric will change. Otherwise, more or less 70 to 80% of the times, or even 85% of the times, you will get these results. Once you learn what you have in second from the sun and 12th from the sun, that is actually going to alter the whole prediction again. Okay, if you know what planets are in the second from sun, 12th from sun, those are also important. They also will change the prediction. Okay, whatever you have learned here, I have to add up this Veshi Vashi yogas, that will also change a little bit the predictions. Then finally, once you understand Rama's life and Sun's position, then you will get a full clarity on the whole thing. So as far as Sun's placements are concerned, you will have a very fair understanding of what is all that Sun can do. Okay.
Yes, sir, got
And
it.
thank you for bringing up the afflictions point. The point Madam said is that if this is all about Sun, if it is devoid of any afflictions, so what afflictions can be is those planets which Sun do not like the Saturn, Rahu, even the Mars, Venus, because Mars is also an afflictor. Okay, so if these planets are with the Sun or aspecting Sun, okay, I consider Rahu to be aspecting by 5th and 9th drishti also. So Rahu can aspect any planet placed in the 5th from it or the 9th from it, because Rahu has a head. So he has 2 more drishtis given to him. Some are not, willing to use this, but I am using these. Anybody else has any questions? Is there anyone who's saying that, look, none of these worked, or it didn't make sense to me at all? Is there anyone of that opinion? Okay. So just be open enough. I'm free to take a feedback. Maybe if something went wrong, I can still go correct, and it will be put to the use of everyone. The idea of these classes are that let people know this is how predictions have to be done. Not just merely looking at 7th lord in the 12th house, 7th lord in the 6th house, 6th lord in 5th house. No, it's not like that. So just to add up on what I have just covered with the madam's comments, is that Sun's afflictions, Sun being afflicted by other planets, will change the fabric, or change the essence of the prediction. And any Raj Yogas, especially the Kendra and the Kona Lord positions. Let's suppose there is a Kendra and the Kona Lord combination in the 4th house from the Sun. This gives more light to that Raj Yoga, because Raj Yoga means something which is good, that can be possible, which is by a Kendra Kona Lord combination. So the simplest Raj Yoga which Parashara Maharshi has described, that is Kendra Kona Lord combination. If that happens to be in the 4th house from the sun, irrespective of where the Lagna is, now you have to ignore Lagna for now, because that is where the light is. So people will recognize your efforts with respect to that. Okay, Kendra Kona Lords. Hope I made some sense. If we don't have more questions, let's say goodbye for today. It's late already, 9:30. Okay, I think most of you have attended the previous Telugu session as well. That's another reason why not most of the questions have come up. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.